I want to start by saying that I appreciate all the nice comments about my hair. Apparently everybody thought that I was bald. And I was going through like all my videos in the past, and apparently I have never, maybe one other time, not worn a hat. Creature of habit. But let me tell you, I've had a blast reading y'all's comments. It's always a fun time for me to go through all of them, and I try to get through all of them in every single video. So, keep it up. So, back in 2021, there was a couple of guys who went to a dude's house acting like policemen. And I guess if you think about it, it could be a good way to rob someone if they're that oblivious and are, I don't know. Maybe you know that they're doing some crime and that they possibly could expect some police officers to show up. The problem that you're gonna deal with if you try to do that is you're gonna have to get the full get up. You're probably gonna have to get a fake badge. You're gonna have to have the whole ensemble, or else nobody's gonna buy it. And that's kind of what happened in today's video. But first, if you guys aren't using DeleteMe, you really gotta listen up. So how many people have ever gotten a robocall or just a call from someone who somehow has your information? I sure as hell have. Maybe you did a quick search on yourself online and all of your information popped up, your address, your family members' addresses, your phone number, all of that. That's because your personal data is being sold online by brokers. So that being said, a huge thank you to DeleteMe for sponsoring today's video. DeleteMe works pretty simply. Their system scours the internet for your personal information and it makes opt-out requests on your behalf. That way your personal information isn't just out there for everybody to get. Now, I have a cool story about this. Before I even knew about DeleteMe, I hired somebody professionally to do this for me. The main reason is because I got so many damn robocalls, even when I switched my numbers, that I was just tired of it. The other reason is I don't want somebody to be able to look me up and come visit me at my house. That's not gonna go over well for anyone, especially that person, if you get my drift. So when I tried DeleteMe, I was thinking, okay, well, they're not gonna find anything because I've already had this done. I guessed wrong. This is my first report that came in. My information was on 95 data broker sites, and they found 26 data brokers with my info, and they reviewed 2,421 listings. Now, someone else who uses this, your numbers are going to be through the roof if you have never had someone do this before, because look at all of these websites that carry that information. So DeleteMe is giving you 20% off when you use my link and code. Heavy duty. It's already affordable, but especially with the 20% off, it's a hell of a deal. So go get your information removed from the internet, get your privacy back, and join DeleteMe. All right, so let's break this down. All right, so right off the bat, these guys have no clue what they're doing. The second guy walks up and he's out to lunch somewhere. You don't see that there's a camera there because your buddy is just sitting there pointing it out to you. Now, you're gonna see this later in the video, but if you see a camera and you went there originally wearing masks, what compels you to remove the mask if you know that there's a camera there?
CPD, open up. We need to ask you a couple questions.
Can I help you?
CPD, we need to ask you a couple questions.
I'm sorry?
CPD, we need to ask you a couple questions. May you please step to the front door, please?
CPD.
So at this point, here's the first mistake you made. A police officer usually is going to announce that he's a police officer when he first knocks. He's not dressed up in what looks like, I don't know, a ghost costume. He's gonna announce that he's there, and most likely it's not going to be at, I don't know what time this is, but it's dark out. Unless it's an emergency. So you guys sitting there knocking on the door, do you think anyone's gonna be like, oh, my pizza's finally here, thank God. Nope. Leave it on the doorstep. I don't need to talk to you. And here's where it gets goofy.
Yes, this is CPD. We would like you to step to the door, please.
Can I see a badge?
We would like you to step to the door, please, sir. I don't have to show you my badge, sir.
Okay, give me a second.
Okay.
Tell me, where in the world, or better yet, the United States, is a police department just outside somebody's house with a hood on and a mask on with their gun out and saying, hey, we need you to come to the door? Like, at this point, you've already saw the camera. I mean, you yanked your buddy out of the view of it, and then you remove your mask while you've got your gun out.
CPD, open the door.
Okay, good. So if it wasn't bad enough that the first guy just pulled his mask down and showed his face, now the second guy does it. He's a little more forceful with the whole CPD open the door. But clearly idiots. This happened in 2021. The reason why we're talking about it now is because they actually just found these guys and they're arrested. Was it worth it? Because you're probably going to get an impersonating a police officer charge on top of whatever else they charged you with. So was that worth it? Also, what was the goal? If the person's home, they're not just going to let you in. And unfortunately, you fellers live in America where there are more guns than people, by far. So I guess the last thing I was gonna say is, what do you do in a situation like this? I guess it depends on the state you're in, but if you see out of your camera that these dudes are at your door with a gun, do you shoot through your door? I guess it depends on your current situation. If you've got a kid in the front room there, you probably don't wanna get in a gunfight. So maybe you just wait until they leave. Don't open your door, just hang out. But if you don't have a kid and you don't have anyone else in the house, the problem with these situations is you don't know their next move. They could fire through your door. They could fire through a window. They could start kicking your door in. And most states recognize the castle doctrine. Now, I'm not sure the legality behind while they're on your front porch and not inside of your house. But if it was me, I'd cue up a huge shotgun sound on one of my speakers, kind of like in Home Alone. See what that does to them. These people are dumb, yet the ATF, the FBI, all these other alphabet agencies are going after people who just own guns, just because they own a certain type of gun that they don't want them to own. But these guys, hell, they were on the street for 2 years. How many robberies did they do before you caught them? I mean, you had camera footage of them.